Hey friends, welcome to Just Call Me Viv. Grab a coffee, pull up a chair, and let's talk. Hey friends, welcome back to Just Call Me Viv. We're going to talk about how you're going to trust yourself after having a setback. So if something didn't work out, whether it's a relationship, a new job, a creative risk, and now you don't trust yourself the way you used to, this episode is going to be for you, because losing self trust can feel really hard and can feel quieter than heartbreak, but it also cuts deeper. So there's a moment after a setback that doesn't get talked about enough. And it's certainly not the disappointment. The setback can feel really hard, and so can the disappointment. And it's not the grief either. It's the internal question: can I believe in myself? Can I trust myself again to make another solid decision? And a lot of people think they lost the trust in themselves because they failed. Failure is part of life. And that's not actually what happened. Psychologically, self trust breaks when we rewrite the past with information that we didn't have at the time. So we look back and say, I should have known. I ignored the red flags. I can't believe that I did that. But that's hindsight bias, right? It's not wisdom. We didn't have that information before. You didn't have that information before you made that decision. So hindsight bias convinces your brain that the outcome should have been predictable. And once your brain believes that, it starts to question your judgment. You start to question yourself. And that's how your self trust really starts eroding. And it's not because you were incapable, it's because your inner narrative turns hostile against you. So let's slow it down. Self trust it's not about always choosing correctly. Remember, failure is how we learn. It's how we learn to try again. It's about knowing you can respond well even when things go sideways. And self trust can be rebuilt. So jot it down. Step one: separate the judgment from the information. When something ends badly, your brain collapses two things into one: the outcome and your confidence. And these things are not the same. I want you to ask yourself honestly, what did I know then? And what did I learn after? What information was unavailable to me at the time? And this really matters because the nervous system responds to fairness. When you judge your past self using future knowledge, your brain essentially registers danger and not growth and not what you learned. Self trust essentially starts when you can tell yourself the truth without punishing yourself. Step two: I want you to name where you actually showed some integrity. Most people focus only on what went wrong, right? 100 things could have gone well, but you focus on the one thing that didn't go well. But self-trust grows when you notice where you stayed aligned. And it might sound something like, I listened when something felt off or when the numbers didn't add up. I spoke up even though it made me feel uncomfortable. I left the relationship when it stopped feeling healthy. I tried something new instead of staying frozen. And those moments really matter. Your brain essentially is looking for proof that you didn't abandon yourself completely. Even imperfect courage counts. And I want you to give yourself credit for that. Step three: understand why your nervous system pulled back, because your nervous system will do that. After a setback, many people feel really hesitant and cautious or numb, sometimes even frozen. Think something is wrong because they may have had a setback or failed. But this is what we call protective inhibition. Your nervous system is just saying, let's slow things down because of that hurt. And that doesn't mean that you're broken. It means your system is trying to prevent the repeat injury. That's why breakups hurt so much. And sometimes you can feel stuck and you can feel like you're not moving forward. The mistake that people make and that I don't want you to make is forcing yourself to be confident again too quickly. Give yourself some time. And that always backfires. Trust in yourself and in your abilities and in who you are is rebuilt through small, consistent signals of safety. Step four: rebuild your self self trust through micro promises, right? So self trust doesn't come from like these outward big declarations, it comes from follow through. Right now, your nervous system is watching one thing. Do you do what you say you're going to do? I want you to start small, smaller than you think you need to, micro habits, micro actions, micro behaviors. So something like, I'll work on this for 10 minutes today. I'm going to walk for 10 minutes. I'm going to contemplate for 10 minutes. I'm going to make that call today. I'll show up for myself, even if I don't feel ready, and then do it. Each promise that you keep to yourself really sends a signal that you can rely on yourself. That's not motivational. That's what you're doing to your brain. It's neurological. Step 5, stop asking for certainty and start trusting your adaptability. A lot of people think self trust means I won't ever make another mistake. I won't make another bad choice. And that's not realistic. We're going to pick bad partners. Real self trust sounds like if something doesn't work, I'll respond with clarity instead of collapse. That means you don't give up on the pursuit of that career or those studies or that relationship or finding love or starting the business. That's confidence, not certainty about the future, confidence in who you are and your ability to handle setbacks. When you trust your capacity to respond, fear is going to lose its grip. There's something important I want to say here, and I'm going to say it quietly. If you're questioning yourself after a setback or a perceived failure, it doesn't signal anything about you. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It usually means that you care and that you care deeply about doing things well, about being intentional, about not hurting yourself again. And that part of you doesn't need to be silenced or quieted, it needs guidance. And you can do this. You didn't lose your ability to trust yourself. You lost your sense of safety for a brief moment. And that's what the brain does. And safety can be rebuilt. One honest reflection, one small promise that you keep to yourself, and one step forward at a time. And that, my friends, is how self trust returns. If you enjoyed today's mini episode, I'd love for you to like, comment, subscribe, or share with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself. Bye.